This is Nightline.
Tonight, the so-called crypto bros accused of and denying holding a man captive in this luxury New York City townhouse, allegedly using saws, guns, and electric prods to torture him into giving up his digital wallet. The stunning WNBC video as he escaped and flagged down police, bloodied and barefoot, the alarming trend in crypto crime. Plus, celebrating Brian Wilson. The late, great Beach Boys founder and songwriter behind many of the band's biggest hits, like Good Vibrations, hailed even by fellow legends for his sonic genius, what Paul McCartney said about his fellow rock and roll statesmen, and the golden guys of mid-century modern.
Let's be together while we still can, like a family.
Matt Bomer of Magic Mike.
Girl, it's all on you.
And the producer, star Nathan Lane.
Step 1, we find the worst play ever written. Step 2, we hire the worst director in town.
Teaming up for the Palm Springs comedy about 3 very grown men and a diva mom.
It is a show about older gay men living their lives authentically and outrageously.
Why they say something like this could have never been done before.
From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is Nightline.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Morgan Norwood. Tonight, the so-called crypto kidnapping case. 2 men accused of holding a crypto investor captive for 17 days inside a swanky Manhattan townhouse, shocking him, cutting him with a chainsaw, and pistol whipping him. Charges they both deny, all to get access to his Bitcoin password. In the posh New York City Soho neighborhood, a shocking scene. This man, identified as 37-year-old crypto investor John Waltz, escorted by police out of an upscale townhome, patted down in broad daylight, wearing nothing but a robe before being taken into custody.
I thought it was a big celebrity or making a movie or something. Actually, it was about kidnapping.
The first person arrested was John Waltz. Police said they found him inside the townhouse from which the alleged victim had bolted. Prosecutors say the alleged victim was held for 17 days and in that time was cut with a chainsaw, was lit on fire.
Waltz accused of kidnapping and torturing a wealthy Italian business associate for nearly 3 weeks. Authorities say to get access to his crypto account, reportedly worth millions. In stunning surveillance footage obtained exclusively by WNBC, that 28-year-old man from Italy seen running barefoot and bloody to a traffic cop pleading for help.
Once the victim escaped and once NYPD got involved, they obviously did a search of this luxury location and found all sorts of incriminating evidence, photographs, weapons, blood.
Defense attorneys say they've seen video circulating online that they say shows the alleged victim smoking crack, participating in orgies, and having a grand old time. Quite at odds with the story that prosecutors were telling the judge.
But authorities say Waltz didn't do it alone. Days later,
why did you do it?
Waltz's associate, 33-year-old William Duplessis, turning himself into police.
Who helped you?
Both men, dubbed the so-called crypto bros, formally arraigned today, appearing side by side. Waltz in an orange prison jumpsuit, Duplessis in tan, and each facing 12 counts, including kidnapping, criminal possession of a weapon, assault, coercion, and attempted grand larceny. The pair pleading not guilty, and they're being held without bond.
They are facing charges that could easily get them life imprisonment. I mean, kidnapping is a huge deal.
The so-called crypto bros reportedly enjoyed New York's party scene. Duplessis, seen here in this video, dancing at an exclusive nightclub in downtown Manhattan. The alleged victim, a friend and business associate of theirs who visited from Italy regularly.
Crypto seems like the newfangled target for old-fashioned crime. Many people are turning to cryptocurrency. That's where the money is. That's where the criminals would go.
The men would hang out at this swanky townhome in Soho, estimated to be worth around $24 million, according to Zillow. Seen here in this video by Open House TV, the 5-story property boasting 8 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms. Waltz reportedly renting the place for at least $30,000 a month. But according to prosecutors, the luxury residence became a house of horrors when the trio's friendship took a dark and twisted turn around May 6th. Authorities say the alleged victim was invited to Woltz's Soho townhouse to receive money that was owed to him.
Prosecutors say these men knew each other, and there had been some back and forth in the past.
Prosecutors say his devices were stolen, and Woltz and Duplessis allegedly demanded he provide the password to his Bitcoin wallet.
Cryptocurrency is not like dollar bills that you can hold in your hand. They don't go through a bank. It's all digital. It becomes a challenge in tracking it because it's virtual. It's just not something that's regulated. And that's why it's appealing to a lot of people.
When the alleged victim refused, according to prosecutors, things got ugly. Duplessis and Woltz allegedly holding him against his will for 17 terror-filled days.
Prosecutors say the alleged victim was cut with a chainsaw, was lit on fire. Prosecutors say the two defendants would toss tequila on the alleged victim, light him on fire, and then extinguish the fire by urinating on him.
Allegedly putting a gun to his head, to holding him over a balcony and threatened to drop him, to electrocution, to cutting.
Ultimately, on May 23rd, the alleged victim reportedly convincing his captors that he'd give them the password they wanted. And according to prosecutors, when the assailants went to get a computer from the other room, he made a run for it. The alleged abduction coming to a dramatic end when he flagged down a traffic cop.
He was barefoot, he was bleeding, prosecutors say, and he told this incredible tale of being held captive and tortured.
Things like what happened in Soho are just the latest in a growing crime trend and a cautionary tale to anybody investing in crypto.
Originally, cryptocurrency tend to be stolen through hackers. And that's become much more difficult. And so they now have resulted into kidnapping people directly. So anybody that has cryptocurrency, a little, a lot, I think you still have to be very low key about telling people what you have. Just like anything else that is potentially worth a lot of money, the less people that know about that, maybe the better.
We turn now to the passing of a true rock and roll legend, Brian Wilson, the gifted singer, songwriter, and leader of the Beach Boys. His music defining an era. Here's David Muir.
Here are the Beach Boys.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around. I get around.
Brian Wilson was the leader, the chief songwriter for the Beach Boys. They were the kings of the summer anthem. There was I Get Around.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, round, I get around.
19-year-old Brian Wilson with his brothers Dennis and Carl, cousin Mike Love, and their good friend Al Jardine, becoming the Beach Boys, the defining American band of that era. Brian Wilson didn't surf, but his gift for music left his peers in awe.
If anybody can
Their breakthrough, Surfin' USA, in 1963. Writing, arranging, and producing most of their catalog, singing as the lead co-vocalist and playing the guitar and keyboard, too. Riding a wave of success with so many hits, including Help Me Rhonda, California Girls. Don't Worry Baby.
Who determines, Brian, what will be done next?
Well, I guess I do. I don't know. I write the songs and produce them, so I have a lot to say about it.
There was fun, fun, fun.
And she'll have fun, fun, fun till the daddy takes the table away. Now the girls can't
They would dominate the charts.
rise like an ace now, you walk like an ace.
But Brian Wilson would acknowledge he had trouble with the fame. He would take a break from touring, overwhelmed by the band's success. 2 years later, in 1966, writing the band's most critically acclaimed album, Pet Sounds. It wasn't a commercial hit at first. It was different. It was deep. Paul McCartney saying it was that album that blew me out of the water. McCartney saying, I figured no one as educated musically till they've heard that album. Good Vibrations followed shortly after, selling more than 1 million copies, more than any other Beach Boys single.
I'm picking up vibration. She's giving me the excitation.
But Brian Wilson would struggle, saying once, "I had a hell of a time getting through some of the frustrations that go along with being a successful artist. I was riding a wave, riding a crest. Then later on, I got scared. I got lost." He struggled with mental health and drugs. Brian Wilson died today at the age of 82, the last surviving brother. And through the years, when asked how he wanted to be remembered, he would often say, "I just hope people will remember me as a guy who really wrote good music."
I think that music is very healing. It puts me into a quiet place to create or to do what I'm supposed to do.
His music defining an era.
Truly a legend. Our thanks to David. When we come back, we're with the stars of Mid-Century Modern, Nathan Lane and Matt Bomer. Why they say the show is both timely and timeless.
We only had himself to blame. Ow, 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 ow.
Welcome back. Okay, so imagine having a limitless budget and zero responsibilities. Well, besides hanging out with your best and most hilarious friends. In Palm Springs, that's just part of the story of Mid-Century Modern. As we at Nightline celebrate Pride Month, here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Welcome, boys. Pick a bedroom, just not the one that smells like Nivea and disapproval, because that's my mother's.
From hijinks,
A straight, I'll win.
Not at this table. In this house, a straight is the worst hand you can get.
to heartfelt moments.
Let's be together while we still can, like a family.
This new sitcom shows off the highs and lows of living with your best friends.
It's about chosen family. It's about gay men at different stages of their lives, men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and how they're navigating getting older.
Mid-Century Modern brings together a star-studded cast in this comedy about three men and a diva mom.
I didn't see the news today. Did women lose the right to vote?
All under one roof.
It's so wonderful to have a fully fleshed out, wonderful character with dimension who relates to his friends and they relate back and we have our lives together and we go through the trials and tribulations together.
So what drew you to this show?
I call it retro progressive. Felt like something familiar that we might have seen from my childhood or growing up, but also these characters on a streaming platform could push the envelope a little further.
Leading the cast is Broadway legend Nathan Lane.
You seem happy.
How do you make that sound like a criticism?
Known for his role in the stage and screen versions of The Producers.
Step 1, we find the worst play ever written. Step 2, we hire the worst director in town.
And beloved friend Pepper on Modern Family.
Come, Ronaldo. They're not interested in planning a wedding. They're interested in hurting people.
I play a character named Bunny Schneiderman, who is a very wealthy and successful manufacturer of women's bras. At the beginning of the show, he's lost a very close friend and his two other closest friends. They come back to my house and we're reminiscing and having a great time. He says, why can't this be the rest of our lives? Move in with me and I'll pay for everything. And so eventually they do, and hijinks ensue.
Bunny's friend Jerry is played by Matt Bomer, known for his dance moves in the Magic Mike movies.
Girl, it's all on you.
He takes on the role of the optimistic flight attendant.
Jerry is somebody who's been through a great deal of hardship, but he's someone who still chooses to see the bright side of things. Particularly in these times, that was a very valuable lesson to remind myself of.
And Nathan Lee Graham rounds out the cast as Arthur.
I need a minute.
Who could forget his scene-stealing moments in Zoolander?
Todd, are you not aware that I get farty and bloated with a foamy latte?
My mistake, Jacobin.
Your mistake indeed.
What drew you to Mid-Century Modern?
It's so liberating to play a role that's fully fleshed out and a real human being, you know? And so that's what really drew me to it. And I'm so glad that I'm a part of it.
for all three of them, these characters are more than just another role.
What would it have meant to you to see a show like this growing up?
Oh, I would have been shocked in the 60s.
How important is it for this show to be out there now representing this community, the LGBTQ community?
I think it's very important. And you know, we're making a statement without making a statement. Because it is a show about older gay men and living their lives authentically.
For me, if I'm laughing, it humanizes the people I'm watching in a way, and the messaging comes through a little bit deeper if it goes down with a little bit of humor.
I mean, can you imagine being black and queer and being able to play a role on national television without shame and not dying within the first 5 minutes? You know, these are huge things. And for people to tune in and to see that, I tell you, anyone would be inspired by it.
Amid all the joy, also heartbreak. Cast member Linda Lavin unexpectedly passed away in December. The cast paying homage to her character Sybil in this scene.
And to honor her memory, I will never signal, and I will always drift into other lanes while applying my lipstick.
That would mean everything to her. She was beloved by everybody on set. She was just a great actress who could do anything, comedy or drama. She had lived a life, and even though she was 87, you would never have guessed that.
The show's story unique to the time, but its message timeless.
I think it's a story that everyone can relate to, no matter who you are, gay or straight. So I think this story is, in many ways, is more universal than we think.
We love the family we're born into, but sometimes it's the group we find or choose that we can be our most authentic selves with. And I hope that folks out there who need their own found families or their own found communities can be their most authentic selves with the people who love and celebrate them the most.
All right, thanks to Stephanie. All episodes of Mid-Century Modern are streaming now on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. When we come back, the remarkable behind-the-scenes moment unearthed from years ago with the late, great Brian Wilson.
Of a very gentle boy, and the girl who wore his ring.
Finally tonight, as we remember Brian Wilson, a special moment from an interview with 2020 in 1980. On the Beach Boys classic, Their Hearts Were Full of Spring, the musical genius spontaneously showing how they harmonized.
And the whole thing together is, there's a story told of a very gentle boy and the girl who wore his ring. Through the wintry snow, the world they knew was one, for their hearts were full of spring.
Will certainly be missed. That's Nightline. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Good night, America.